Yo, this is Grown Folks Talk. How you doing, sir? How you doing, man? How's life? I feel like I haven't seen you in ages, bro.
Bro, I've been hibernating.
That's all
Honest
right.
to God, I've been hibernating.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool, bro. That's cool. You just taking your rest, but it's nice to see you, man. Even if it is virtually, it's nice to see you.
You too, bro. Honestly, I thought about you,
Yeah.
but I thought about a lot of people, but I really needed to completely shut off, man.
That's the way, man.
Like, COVID was one thing and having the lockdown and staying away, but we find Zoom and we found other things and ways to stay in contact. But literally the last 3 months, I haven't been on social media until yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
First day back.
Who did I speak to the other day? Loretta, and she was saying that like she messaged you about like what was going on. You was like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
It's a good thing though.
But I didn't think I was going to be like that. I didn't think I'd get to this stage. I've become so introverted since lockdown. Like I really just value being home alone in my room.
Yeah.
Like just relaxing. Like from how fast paced life was before, it's been really weird going just to some sudden halt. But I don't know what it was. The last 3 months, it's really started to get to me. So I just shut off social media. I wasn't on it. Just completely cut it. No Facebook, no Instagram, and even WhatsApp. I was airing people. I didn't like to do it, but I didn't have the energy to deal with people, speak to people, be social. I didn't.
Yeah, man.
So
Me too. I think I've been like that as well. Like I've been really feeling like that. I mean, I resonate with what you're saying. Like it was, I really wanted to go to the Loretta's the Roll on London thing. The other day,
worldwide rollout day.
Worldwide rollout day. See, it's just stripping off my words.
Yeah.
But I really, really wanted to go. Like really, really wanted to go.
Yeah.
But I went, but it was hard. It was hard because I didn't really want to be social and like I didn't really want to talk to anyone. But yeah, I get you, man. I get you. There's a bit of a funk in the air, and like I feel like we're kind of waiting for the next little bits to happen. Like if we're gonna go in lockdown again, or I feel you, bruv. I feel you.
I didn't make it on Sunday. I felt bad letting down Loretta.
Yeah.
And I did want to be there for the cause as well, but I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to face the world.
Yeah.
And I've actually gone back to football.
Nice.
Like before skating, I was playing football 2-3 times a week. Nothing major, just with friends and that. But I've gone back to football the last few months, and that's been my kind of release and my fitness as well.
Yeah.
So I put on a little bit of weight. Yeah. So.
Haven't we all, sir?
Yeah, this is new for me, man. I'm in the worst shape I've been in my life.
Yeah.
Like I'm 20 kg over COVID, and I can see the difference and I can feel the difference. Like that, on top of my injury, like it's yeah.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I don't know, bruv. Like you've always like been such a positive guy. Like even like I mean, so I've said this to you like time and time again, but like meeting you was like the catalyst for what I wanted to do. Like the positivity, the kind of forward with the community vibe, the whole like kind of like the skating love, the skating community stuff. I would have never had that feeling if it wasn't for meeting you, coming to Fix8, feeling a part of like the family there and stuff like that. I would have never had that if it wasn't for you. And like just throughout like that whole like few years when we were there every week and stuff like that, it was meeting you and listening to how you talk about things, listening to like how positively you talk about like the US and just the especially like the scene in like over Europe and all that stuff, which we'll get into. Which really
it feels like something to go.
It does. Yeah, it does, man. It really does. But yeah, brother, I would have never had that if it wasn't listening to you because you ignited a fire. So it's
And
kind of
I
hard.
appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
No,
I really
bruv,
do.
bruv, listen, it's all you. Like, there's nothing to appreciate. You were just being you, and it rubbed off on me.
No, you say that, but like, all right, talk about Fix8. There's been a lot of ups and downs in the time that we've been doing that. Like, it's nine at this point. It's 9.5 years. Obviously, we haven't been open a year and a half, but since 2012, we've been doing Wembley, and there's been times when I've really wanted to stop. There's been a lot of times when I've really wanted to stop. And I haven't felt like the work that me and the team has truly been valued and appreciated. Um, and like when we're there, like bro, like when we finish work, all of us, we've all got stuff going on in our lives, all the team. But we finish work and we go straight to the hall to set up every single week. Um, and our relationship with the venue has always been, personally, like person to person, it's been good. But the way that they run their business is really hard for us to deal with. So we'll turn up there and we don't know what we're going to walk into. Like there'll be food and tables and chairs and carpet, like stuff just set out, and we think there's no way we can get this place up to scratch for skating in 3-4 hours, and it's really disheartening. But honest to God, like you and a handful of others who genuinely show up every week and show us the gratitude and thank us for our work. You know, like that's one of the most beautiful things. You can see people come to skating on a Tuesday and they're stressed out from life, like we all are. They're just stressed. But then you see them skating and you see the smile on their face, and then when you see them leave with the smile on their face, it makes it all worth it. But honestly, like meeting people like yourself in particular, I know that the future of skating is good, because I want to get to a point when I don't have to do. Bro, I don't like sweeping floors. Like we have to sweep that floor every week. I can't stand it. At this point, I actually miss doing it. I haven't done it for a year and a half.
Right, yeah.
And but I don't like all that hard work. I want to be able to enjoy my skate. That's why I like going Roller Nation, even Harrow, you know, like just so I can just relax. I haven't really had that chance, and the team, they're there to work, you know, they get to enjoy themselves throughout the night, but they still have to work, you know. But no, it's nice. I really do appreciate it, man. I really, really do. I know people like yourself, groups like Skatings, among quite a few others that have popped up and supported the community throughout the pandemic. I know the future's good for London. So if I can play a part in sparking that fire and you lot spreading it, my job's done.
100%, bro. 100%. Yeah, like again, these are conversations that we had on a almost weekly basis, and like just to kind of like to have it, you know, like once we're kind of, I mean, potentially getting to the end of like all the kind of lockdown stuff. Obviously, plans are going forward. You guys announced that Fix8 is going to be back in August.
Yes.
Like just kind of, I feel like we're kind of metaphorically wrapping up this pandemic era, you know, and like kind of talking about yeah, obviously, right. But I mean, like I feel like there's been like a bit of a change, you know, like I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's a bit of a change here. Like I feel a lot more connected to not only the scene but the community recently. Whereas like kind of mid-pandemic, I kind of felt a bit away. Like I kind of just was, you know, kind of holding up my spot in Tottenham and just kind of doing my thing. But yeah, there's a different feeling of connection. I don't know how you feel about all that stuff, but we'll definitely get into
I feel
that.
there's a massive change.
Yeah,
There's a massive
100%,
change.
100%.
But as for you holding up your spot in Tottenham, I don't know if I've used this metaphor with you before, but have you seen Field of Dreams,
Yeah,
that old Kevin Costner film? The whole motto of the film is, if you build it, they will come.
yeah,
Like, that was how we did with Fix8, and that's what you did with Tottenham. Like, you've got a lot of people that wouldn't have found skating if it wasn't for you in particular. You know, and you've spent time building connections with them people up there, teaching them how to skate and giving them a place to feel comfortable. That was the whole thing behind us starting Wembley. Like, that's what's needed. That's what's missing from London. London doesn't have a rink. Like, we wanted to create a place for skaters, run by skaters. That was in 2012 what we set out to do. You know, because there was only at the time Vauxhall, and that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So we reopened Wembley because they shut down and it took over new ownership. But there's not enough places. So that's why when Harrow came around and they wanted to start there, we helped them start Harrow. But yeah, we need more places. We need more places. We need more people that are builders. We need more builders, more people that are going to build for the community, and that's what you do. So,
I agree, man. I agree. That's the move for. Anyway, hello, Kai. I feel like we just had like a full conversation. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted to do the intro, obviously, for anyone watching who I don't know why anyone be watching and don't know who you are, because I talk about you all the time. But for people who don't know, who are you? What are you? And yeah, who are you? What are you?
my name's Kai.
Nice to meet you, Kai.
I'm part of the NC, the next chapter, and I co-run Fix8 Rollerdisco in Wembley.
It's a good little sum up, man. Yes.
Yeah,
So
I was trying to keep it short.
Yeah, short and sweet. I like it, bro. I like it. Yeah, man. Like, and I think just like I was saying, like I referenced the NC. I mean, I don't know if you've read any of the articles that I've like done or anything like that, but
I just got back online, bro. I just got back online.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I always mention you lot as like the catalyst for like skate things, or where like the kind of idea of this whole like community stuff came from. And something that we spoke a lot about just in passing, or like any kind of conversations we had, you would always talk about the NC and like the kind of vision that you all had, which was obviously like, I mean, if you want to kind of talk about it, you can do. But I was
of course.
Yeah.
So the NC stands for the next chapter. A lot of people don't know that, but yeah, we stands for the next chapter, and it was always the next chapter of the skate scene, like building for the future to make sure skating doesn't go anywhere, to make sure it evolves and progresses and doesn't like stagnate and die out.
Yeah.
Can't remember what year we started now. Everything's a blur. I think it's 2016. Like as a group of individuals, we've been skating together for years. Like I knew Dom back in Vauxhall days. I was like 2010, 2011. Daniel and Jason I knew in like 2012 when they first started coming Wembley and stuff. Nadia I met at Stratford, I think. We've all known each other different times, but we've all seen that we're active on skates.
Yeah.
You know, like we really care about it. And when I first started traveling to America in 2014, I saw the next level. I do often compare the UK to America and say that they are ahead, but because I've seen it for myself, I don't mean that to put us down, but they've had the infrastructure for generations. They've got rinks and rinks and rinks. Like every time you meet a skater out there, they've been skating since they was a kid with their parents, with their grandparents. I never had that. I'm a first generation skater.
Yeah.
I found this. And that's why they're ahead. So when I went there, it really broadened my mind as to what skating can become, and what it means for such a wider community. And then the following year, a group of us went, and that was it. That was it. The group of us all saw what I just described,
Mm-hmm.
and we wanted to work towards that back home. So when we went to Detroit in 2016, we decided to actually make a group, and work on it. We wanted to initially start a skate party, which we've done now. 4th year's coming up end of the month. Hope to see you there, man.
100%, bro.
But yeah, it's just been something that we've been building. We've been learning out there, sharing stuff with people, and then bringing a few things home, a few moves here, and teaching others here, spreading it out.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I was just gonna say, like, a lot of the kind of the culture here was about speed and chopping, and that was kind of our culture and the culture that I kind of started off in. I don't know if you know, but yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but I was a speed skater. I used to race and like race bladers and stuff like that. There's a park by me. I used to race, like, that was a few kg ago. But that's where I started. You know what I mean? Like,
Still move though, bro.
I mean, I tried, bro. I tried. I have no laces no more, so I'm just like, you know what I mean? Gotta
I
figure
don't
it
know
out.
how you skate like that.
Bro,
Can't.
it's the sauce, bro. It's the sauce, man. But yeah, like I think the first person that I ever saw, obviously, again, this was like a life before like social media, or like the integration of skating and social media together. The first person I ever saw like really busting out like rhythm skating, jam skating was Nadia in Stratford. And then I met Daniel, and then I met you after. Well, Daniel and Jason, and I met you after. And I feel like you all, the NC, were like that kind of first look into what the scene could be. What do you think about that? Obviously, going to the US and bringing it back.
I mean, I see that as a compliment, and I can see the influence that we have. I mean, sometimes I look back at really like old videos of Silver Spoons, and if you look at the way the rink moves, it's just people going around, having a good time, yeah, and you'll get the weavers, you get the choppers doing their thing. But now when you look at the way the rink moves, there's the people in the middle doing the routines. There's the people at the side making routines up and jamming. It's different. It's different. It's not just. It's not. There's a lot more variety in the moveset that people do now.
Yeah.
And I know that has been influenced by social media, but it's also been influenced by us.
100%.
And I'm happy to be part of it. Happy to be building the future.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I just like I was saying, you were my first kind of in, because before that, it was just about speed, being the fastest, like going backwards the best, chopping. And also the influence that you guys had on skates. Like Bowers, I mean, we kind of look at Bowers as like entry level skates now. I do anyway, but I'm a bit of an elitist, so.
My relationship with Bowers has gone up and down. They're part of the culture. They really are.
100%.
Like, I saw something online yesterday. I spent way too much time on social media yesterday. Roll True?
Yeah. Harrison. Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, he's got some rap beef with an American. Like, oh man,
Bro.
It had me cracking up. I don't know if it's serious. I don't know if they're serious or it's just for banter, but I was cracking up.
Yeah.
And the guy, the American, like, he starts disrespecting the Bowers, and I was offended. I was like, who are you, bro? Like,
standing up at your seat, like, what?
Yeah. I'll catch a flight, bro.
100%.
No, the hockey boots, they're part of the parcel. I'm on my 5th pair of hockey boots. They're still in my car. And for the most part, I'll use them on a street skate. Like, if I want to speed skate and I want to weave and I want to chop, like, I'll put on my Bowers. But that's not the kind of skating that I want to really progressing.
Yeah.
But that's definitely the London culture, man. It's definitely London culture, and
Yeah.
it's earned its place.
Yeah.
But for comfort wise, then they're not for me.
No.
It's the comfort factor.
Yeah.
Like my ideas, they're snug. They're cushioned. Like I used to do if I try and do certain moves that I can do in my ideas, in my bowers, my toes are gonna come out like this,
100%.
mangled. Like,
Yeah.
But what I say to people is, you buy different types of bikes. A mountain bike and a BMX bike, they serve different purposes, and that's what it is.
Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. I think I've always kind of like put bowers in or the analogy that I use is they're just like Amazon boxes. It's like skating Amazon boxes. Like I just can't it's like, you know what I mean? It's just so square. It's really uncomfortable. And I mean, you know, I've always gotten a lot of shit for wearing like derby boots, but I just think they just fit so well. And I think it's like that leather, it hugs your feet. I've been looking at some Adidas recently, not to kind of, you know, drop some smoke in the chat, but that's all I'm saying, bro.
Join the gang, bro. Join the Adidas gang.
You've been trying to recruit me for years, bro.
But I've been trying to recruit people.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to recruit people to get flows, man. Those were my babies.
Oh yeah.
I used to be like, yo, these are the most comfortable hockey boots in the world. And then everyone started getting them.
Yeah.
And then I jumped ship. I think, in fact, when did I get them? I think it was Soul Skate. I can't remember, man. It's like 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love my Adidas, man. But I'll be honest, I'm leaving Team Adidas soon.
Ooh.
I am going to purchase my first pair of Rydell's.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it might be towards the end of the year, maybe a little Christmas present for myself.
Yeah. Because prices are kind of mad right now. The skate, yeah. Oh, you muted.
Sorry.
Oh, that's right. It's cool. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, man. Yeah, I know the prices are mad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I find weird in it?
Go on, bro.
A lot of the newer skaters, they're buying like 6, 7, 8, 9 pairs of skates off the bat.
So I've been having. Say that again.
Have you spoken about this already?
So I'm gonna do a live on this, right? This kind of doesn't really work as a podcast format conversation, but I'll go ahead anyway. I want to do a live on this. I've been talking to a lot of people who've been buying what skates specifically? The colourful ones. What are they called? Moxies. They are like £400, right? I mean, I don't think they're particularly excellent skates, but I get like there's a whole culture behind them and stuff like that. I mean, it's not the skates that I don't like; it's the kind of like excluding culture that I feel like it has. But yeah, I guess I'll kind of talk about that more in my live. But I'm like, they're really pretty skates. Like, why would you spend £400 on your first skates? Bro, I don't know about you, but my first skates were £25 from Asda.
My first skates were Bauer Turbos. They cost me £100.
Damn.
Yeah, I love my babies. I love them.
Bauer Turbos, you know, I never thought you'd be a Bauer Turbo guy.
Bro, this was 2010. Started, this was 2010, man.
Yeah.
It was days.
It's rough, man. Yeah, bro. My first skates were some like it, bro. To say it was leather would be generous. Like they were crusty, rusty, flipping. But like I tore those bitches up in 2 months.
Yeah.
Because that's when I was like chopping, speeding, like, hockey stopping all over the place. I tore those bitches up in 2 months, and then I got the like skate underneath my skate now, and I used those for like a couple years, and then I finally got my old skates, which we won't talk about right now. So I have a very specific question. This is one I've wanted to hear your take on. What lessons from the US, or when you first went? So you spoke about like you first went up there, and then once you came back, you formed the NC, and then you guys went back out there, right? And then obviously you've been there regularly since then.
Yeah.
What are the main lessons that you got from being out there that you feel like as a community, especially for the newer ones, that we can learn from, take them, harness them, and learn from, and change the community? What are the things that you would really think when it comes to like changing the community dynamic?
In short, I don't have the answer for you.
Yeah.
Um, because I ask myself and I ask them uh, all the time. Like I would say that they're three, maybe four generations. Actually, no, we're catching up. We're catching up. They're three generations ahead of us, skate wise. And they've got a lot of politics. They've got a lot of drama. There are a lot of similarities within the community that we have here, that they have there, and they've had for a long time. And like a lot of the people that I would call family now, I've got family out there.
Yeah.
Like people like Reggie. I think you've met Reggie.
Yeah.
Right. He's like a big brother to me. Like if I need any advice, I'll give him a call. And I've asked him a number of times, what can we do to avoid making mistakes that the skate community over there have made? What can we do to avoid that? And because he doesn't have a full grasp of where we are, he hasn't really been able to give me a direct answer to that. But we have a lot of the same problems. I can't answer that yet. But yeah, sorry, I can't give an answer to that.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but like, do you ever look at, maybe it's a bit too specific, right? But do you ever look at like some fundamental things that we have, and are just like, oh, maybe if we kind of implemented this thing, like even like slightly, maybe like even if it was just like something like more communication between the different groups, or like not being so exclusive to like, oh, you know, I skate in Tottenham, so so I skate in Tottenham. Is it like things like that? Like maybe having like a central meeting point, which again previously was Fix8, like something like that.
I've always said that skaters need a home. They need a hub. They need a base. It really does help shape the community, teach etiquette and respect. Like, and that's one thing that I've drilled into the marshals. Like, because we are the community, we are skaters. We're part of all the customers that come in. We are them, but we can help guide them. I'll give you an example. A lot of Stratford skaters from back in the day, in Stratford, there's no rink etiquette, right? You just skate, you just go do what you want. And it can be quite wild. But then when a lot of the Stratford skaters started to come to Wembley, it was a little bit of a culture shock for them, because every 2 minutes they're having a marshal blow the whistle at them. And as frustrating as it was at first for them, they slowly started to understand like this place has guidelines, and it's put in place to keep everyone safe and make sure everyone enjoys it, because not everyone wants to speed around. You know, and that's why that's one small example as to why a rink, a hub, a home is important, because you can teach from within and just push it out.
Yeah, I mean, with like major influence, or like with major like, forget the word I was going to use, but like with major emphasis on like a rink being run by skaters for skaters, not like something. I mean, I don't know, like you have a better relationship with the people who run Roller Nation than I do, but I don't see that as a hub, even though it's the one that we have, right?
Yeah, my relationship with Roller Nation or Rollerdisco.com has gone up and down over the years, and at the moment we're good. When I was younger, I had a conversation again in Vauxhall. I had a conversation with the manager there, David, and I realized he's a businessman. He's not a skater.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that although they run a roller disco, it's a nightclub.
Yeah.
It's a business, and their main focus is the bar. They want the bar sales. That's why they like the one-time party goers, the tutu crowd, we used to call them. And that's who they cater for.
Yeah, it's true.
And at first I was offended when I realized that. And we didn't have an argument, but I was like, why do you value them over us?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, because they buy at the bar. You guys don't drink. And I was like, yeah, but this guy here, it's the first and last time he'll ever come, and he'll spend £40 on drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I come 4 times a week, every single week.
Yeah.
And I pay my £10, and I always buy a Lucozade. Surely that means something.
Mm.
He didn't dismiss me. Like, David's not rude, but we agreed to disagree.
Yeah.
He has his target audience, and that's how they operate. And once I understood that, I had to respect it.
Yeah.
Especially when I started running a roller disco and I see the numbers involved. Like they've got targets to hit, they've got rent to pay, they've got staff to pay, got bills to pay.
Yeah.
I get it, but I realized that they didn't. Yeah, like you said, they're not a home. They're not a home for us.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good answer, man. Yeah, bruv. I hear what you're saying, man. And I kind of feel that way when I go to Real Nation. Like, I feel like I'm just kind of, unless like you lot are there and like I'm really skating, like sweating and like trying to keep up with you lot, unless that's what's happening, I don't feel as though I feel like I'm out, not like I'm skating, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, just like you said, I don't think that can be our spot. Whereas I didn't feel the same way with Stratford when we were going there. I felt like there was a real potential for that to be a space. But again, like with the nature of like skating outside or like the kind of car park culture or stuff like that, it's not permanent. You know what I mean? Like none of that stuff is. And doesn't matter how long, it's not sustainable. It's not going to be sustainable because we're doing it like we're not playing the game. We're not using the rules. We're not renting space. So it's just kind of like, oh, you guys been here for 2 years. It doesn't matter. Do we want our space back? And that's something that I had to find out the hard way with the car park.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a rink skater.
Yeah.
The first time I went was a roller disco. And I like the atmosphere. I like the music, the loud sound system. That's what I fell in love with. And then I fell in love with the actual activity, the skating. So going to car parks, it's not the same for me. I really struggle. Even going to sports halls with like the basketball and badminton lines and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
It might be a smooth floor and they might have a sound system, but
It's
it's not that atmosphere.
Yeah.
But if you're with a good crowd and the music's good and the floor's smooth, then you can have a good time. If you're with good people, yeah.
Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. But I think that's a skating thing in and of itself. Like it's about being around the right people, and I think you can have a great time anywhere if you're around people who are into the stuff that you want to do. And I realized that like skating with because I've been skating with Daniel quite a bit like this whole pandemic because he's been out and about and like trying his best to go around to everyone and bring that next level, like working hard, like a working atmosphere as opposed to like the kind of like social atmosphere that it's kind of been for a little bit because the culture's exploded and numbers have gone up and up and up. And yeah, I've really found that, skating with someone who pushes you or skating with someone who's like, I'm better than you and you can be better than me. You just got to work hard. It really is really beneficial. I like that.
Send me over.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And
Yeah.
and he makes no, there's no like kind of hidden agenda. It's just like literally, I'm here
No,
to,
not at all.
yeah,
Yeah.
here to skate hard.
Mm.
So you mentioned the rinks just now. We just had a slight conversation with the rinks. Obviously, as you know, even though you have been away from social media, Colchester has made another splash in a space where they shouldn't be. So you did. I didn't even look at your face.
Colchester trigger me, man. They
Yeah.
trigger me. They trigger me. They
Okay.
trigger me.
So let's start from the beginning, right? So you first went there and did dealings with them in what was it, 2019?
Did we go in November? I think it was November we first went there.
Yeah.
Or was it early Jan? Do you know what? They took over. Jason and Anne took over Colchester,
Hmm.
the new owners, in November 18.
Okay.
And I think no, I think it was January we went up there first
Hmm.
and we met them. So the owners before, or the owner before them, they had a few weird rules in place um, regarding your skates, the kind of skates that you can wear, and it wasn't the most welcoming
Hmm.
to skaters. So us coming from London, it's a 2 hour, 2.5 hour drive. You don't want to get to the door and get turned away.
Yeah.
We all be made to feel unwelcome. And like we said, music's a big part, right? The music was never great in Colchester. So that's why we never went up there on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But we heard that there's new owners and they were really pushing, trying to bring a new life back to the venue. So we went up, I think it was early January, and we met Anne in particular. And Anne was lovely. Anne was really, really nice to us. We introduced ourselves as the NC, and we asked her if we could like do a night. So that year, 2019, we were doing NC tours,
Hmm.
which was a concept of us getting a group of people. If you want to come, you're more than welcome. And we're going to go to different rinks around the country. Well, actually international as well. Um, and we floated the idea to her and we said we'd love to include this. Can we organize a night? And Anne, like I said, was really, really nice to us. And she said, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So Colchester was our first, I think. I think it was January that we did it at the end of that month. So it was like 3 weeks notice. And we organized a night there and it was really nice. It was really nice. Had about 30 people in total. Um, Good night. The end of that night, we had a chat with her and we told her about Roll on London, the international party.
Hmm.
We'd only done one previously where we organised a trip to Derby and we said Colchester's a little bit closer. We'd like to bring the main night here. And again, she was all ears. She said that's a really nice idea. So that's how our relationship started.
Hmm.
Having the back and forth with her, sending her videos of Roll On from last year, and we planned it. That's when Jason got involved. I didn't have the greatest relationship with Jason. Um, he was more, from what I saw, he was more the business person. And he was just about the numbers and the money. And when it came to deciding on the split uh, of the event, he was really firm with us. He wasn't giving any leeway. Now we darted up there to have meetings with them and sit down, pen and paper, and plan it out properly, and to show that we're serious about it.
Yeah.
But he was really really firm. He wasn't budging on things. And as time was drawing near to the event, we ran out of choices of going elsewhere. But realistically, in England, there would be nowhere better to bring our event. There's no rink better in England to bring the event, especially if we want to keep it as close to London as possible.
Right.
So in the end, we drew the short straw with them. But the main thing was we put on a successful event. The event was the top 10 nights I've ever had in this country, easily. It was great to welcome our friends from all over the world, who all skate differently, and blend that in with our home talent, like all the London skaters, all the Derby skaters that came, the Bristol skaters, the Manchester, Leeds, some people from Scotland, Ireland came.
Nice.
I think Daniel did a count. There was like 11 different countries in the building.
Wow.
That we're aware of. Like it was such a good night, man. Such a good night. Such a good event. But it's just a shame that we had so much pushback from Jason, and I will single him out.
Mm-hmm.
Anne was always trying to meet us in the middle, whereas Jason wasn't. Now, the night itself, obviously we had coaches coming from London, and we were posting on social media, as you do. And we know that they were watching our page throughout the day. And I got a message from Jason saying, "Oh, make sure you tell everyone that they're going to get searched on the door, and they might get searched throughout the night randomly."
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that London has this, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, people stereotype London.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that, but there was something about the way it came across. So I questioned it. I was like, "What do you mean you're going to search us? I don't really want our guests to feel any type of way, you know?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't remember how I worded it, but it was a text message. And he replied, "Well, you know, like, drugs, knives," and that didn't sit right with me at all. I was really, really angry and upset by that, because it was what are you insinuating behind that?
Mm-hmm.
So when I got there that night, we had an argument straight away, me, him, and Anne. And again, Anne was trying to calm it down. And, "No, he didn't mean it like that. We always search bags and wear tear, but it just didn't sit right with me. It just didn't sit right." Now, Anne made a few comments. And again, I was cool with Anne Amir. I can't stress it enough. She was lovely to us. It was Jason that was always giving us a hard time. But Anne said to our face on 2 occasions. First, it was me and Daniel at the bottom of the stairs by the diner, when we were talking about the event in January, when we were talking about Roll On. She said to us, "We need more black people."
Mm-hmm.
Like, but she didn't say it in a bad way, and we didn't question it at all. Like, we know that black skaters bring a vibe,
100%.
and there's a lot of us. You know,
most of the community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So she said it then. We thought nothing of it, and then after Roll On, we had like a debrief meeting with them to go over things and settle everything. And they asked us to do an urban night, a monthly urban night. They said they were going to pay for coaches from London and back, and they wanted us to organize people to come on these coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And she said it again, "We need more black people." And we actually agreed to it. We actually agreed to do it. But the condition was that they would meet us halfway for Roll On the following year.
Mm-hmm.
Jason put his foot down again. Now, all the times we've worked with venues, Derby, Welling Garden, and Fix8, we do a partnership. We're not trying to make thousands of pounds, but when you do an equal partnership, it encourages both sides to push the event and make it as successful as possible.
Right.
Derby agreed to it. and they've agreed to it this year. We were supposed to do it this year, but we couldn't. And they've agreed to it next year as well. Roller Nation have agreed to the same deal. Fix8 Welling, like, it's just good business.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get one up on anyone, but Jason was not having any of it, and he started shouting at me down the phone. What did he say? What did he say exactly? He was like, "How dare you!" Like, he was really offended that we asked for that, and I was like, "Well, Jason, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. We'll just take our business elsewhere." Like, we've already spoke to Derby, and at the time, Harrow was even considering working with us, and he was like, "You can't compare us to Harrow. It's a sports hall." He was shouting down the phone. I swear to God, he was shouting down the phone at me. And Derby's miles away. It's an extra hour.
Yeah.
But okay. Like, and then Anne was in the background. "Oh, maybe we can talk about it." And he was like, "We'll talk about this later, Anne." Like, he was really, really angry and shouting. Like, I was on the phone, and I swear to God, because I was trying so hard to keep my cool and stay professional, I was shaking. I couldn't have had that conversation face to face.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's when we agreed to just step away. We weren't going to do their monthly night with them. We weren't going to do roll on with them again. And we left it at that. But again, I was still cool with Anne. She was still cool with us. So me and Anne are friends on Facebook. Then fast forward to the George Floyd killing. The BLM protests started happening. And she put on her status, all these BLM protesters are morons. And that got my back up. Now, Amir, we've spoke about, like, civil rights
100%.
and struggle that Black people have. And we've drawn the parallels between the Black community and the skate community, you know?
100%.
I was offended.
Yeah.
But I tried to keep the being professional, but I wasn't going to just let that slide. So I went on her status and I said, "Where was that energy when there was people on the beaches or the VE Day celebrations? Like, where was the status then?" And she said, "They're all morons as well." But that wasn't enough for me. I really didn't like that she said that about Black Lives Matter in particular.
Yeah.
She deleted that status and she rewrote a new one, blanketing all the protesters, beachgoers, all the things that I had brought up in the comment previously. But I know that I was at the protests. I know that those protests, although we're going through a pandemic, like, the proof is there. Like, that the murderer, the police officer, he's been convicted of murder.
Yep.
And that is due to the pressure that those global protests drew to the case. Like, as a direct consequence. That protest meant something. So although she's now condemning the beachgoers and everyone else, I wasn't about to let her just carry on saying that about Black Lives Matter. So I was trying to educate her, because she was showing a level of ignorance to it all. And every time I'd write something, she would, but we need to protect our businesses, we need to protect lives. I'm like, we're trying to protect lives. Forget your business, we're trying to protect lives. Like, this is bigger than that.
Yeah.
When are you gonna say enough is enough? You know? And remember, a few months ago, you're telling us you need Black people.
Yeah. Yeah. Different energy.
So I called her out on her status, and a few of her friends were kind of not getting involved directly to me, but defending her, saying, "Yeah, you're right, they should all stay at home, da. But she deleted me from Facebook, deleted all my comments. and that's it. And that's the last. That was it. That was complete cut ties
Yeah.
with Colchester. So they've disrespected the NC, and then they've disrespected black people. Now we didn't know how best to handle the NC disrespect, so we just stepped away. I know I've spoken to you about it, but we haven't actively posted like about it.
Do you regret that?
But the racial things, I feel like they've shown their true colors
Yeah.
more than one occasion. So when it was Loretta that told me about the all-nighter comments the other day, and again I was triggered, bro. I was triggered.
Do
I
you
told
think?
you.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. I think it's such a, I don't know, man, because even after you, I mean, it only took you saying to me like, bro, this is what happened, like we don't fuck with them, for me to go like, cool. But do you think it was our duty to kind of put out there and say things to people?
In in all honesty, yes.
Yeah.
Now I do. Um, if it just happened once to us, to me, or however,
Yeah.
people can dismiss it as maybe you misunderstood it, or or even you're just bitter because they won't do what you want,
Yeah.
and I don't want it to come across like that at all.
It doesn't.
Give them time. If you give someone enough rope, they'll hang themselves in it, and that's what they've done. You know, they've done it on more than one occasion now.
100%.
And I spoke to Bance, I spoke to KV, and they asked them the same thing. They want to do a hip hop night, and they want them to do it.
Yeah.
It's like they love black people's money, but they don't love black people.
Nope. I'm very interested to see who goes back in October.
Bro, there's certain people I've told about the ins and outs of this, everything I've just told you. And people that claim to be for the cause, but they'll still go there. And I don't get it. And they'll post and they'll tag Roller World. Thanks, Roller World. Thanks for what?
Yeah.
Owning a rink, having the money to have a rink. Give me the money and see what I can do with a rink, bro.
Yeah.
See what I can do for the community, really for the community.
It's true.
Can't stand them, man. But it's such a shame because that rink is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I think every time we've spoken about it, that's always been your closing, the last thing you say.
It's so mad now. I'm here now, just mad. It's mad. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve our support.
No.
The NC aside, they don't deserve black people's support at all.
Yeah. 100%. I agree.
You can tell. Like I said to Loretta, I said to Bance, like, I want an apology. Not me. I want an apology to the black community, and they need to do something to fix what they have done. If that is hosting a free night, and I'm not expecting any of this. I'm not expecting an apology. I'm not expecting an apology or anything. Yeah. But these are the things before I go back there under their management that I want. So it's going to be a long time before you see me at Colchester, boy.
Bruv, just like you said, man, you give them enough rope, innit? Just do their thing. Yeah, I like hearing like the things that you've done like all over, because it really shows that, and I mean, this is like one thing that I always said, that if what you say, like, I know that because you're for the community and you've done all of this stuff as an individual and as a group, I know that you're not, I know what you're for, I know what you're about. You know what I mean? I don't ever think that, oh, you know, Kai's just telling me don't go here because he doesn't want me to spend my money with these people. Like, I know that you're saying stuff because you actually mean it and because you care. You know what I mean? Because you've done this for so long, and I mean, I don't know how much like it's benefited you in the long run, but I know that you've done it. Most of it is out of the goodness of your heart and just because of who you are and how important the community is to you. And I think, I think we have conversations and you say that you don't feel like you've done enough, but you've done this for our community, you and the NC, and I will always big you up for that.
Again, I appreciate it, Amir. I really, really do. But I've always felt like I haven't done enough, that we could do more.
Yeah.
But I'm only one person. And that's why I surround myself with people like Daniel, people like Nadia, like the rest of the group. You know, I feed energy off of the people around me. That's why I tell you, I wish you weren't living so far away, man. Like, Tottenham's a trek.
Yeah, it is, bro.
But I know as a community, we could have done a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah.
If everyone came together, we could do so much more. So much more. And it's frustrating because I've been doing it for, like I said, 9.5 years. And Loretta tagged me in a video, and it said, I think it was Nipsey Hussle. And he's like, whenever you think about stopping, just turn around and see how far you've come.
Yeah.
And you'll see that you're closer to where you want to get than where you were when you started. And that rings true, man. I know we've come a long way. I just still feel like there's so much more to do.
Yeah.
So much more to do. And I'm tired, bro. Tired.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you, bro. I got literally maybe 2 more questions, right? So the first one is, skating and social media have really become like intrinsically tied, right? Like it's kind of part of the culture now, like the whole use of social media to put your stuff forward. And it's also become something that's really financially viable for most people, like doing adverts and stuff like that, sponsorships and things like that. What do you think about that? Like, I know it's not easy enough, or I know it's not easy to say, oh, it's bad or it's good, but like, what do you really think about the whole kind of skating in the pursuit of fame and less of kind of like doing it because you love it?
The fame part, again, because that's not my thing.
Yeah.
I don't like people that try to exploit it for fame or money. But that's not to say that everyone who gets paid from it is doing it. The social media, Instagram exposure, it's a double-edged sword in my book.
Yeah.
Like I've told people for a long time, record yourself, record your progress, document it, because at the beginning, when you first start your skate journey, like the progress is really steep. Just go up and up and up.
It's true.
But you reach a point where you kind of plateau.
Yeah.
And it can be really demoralizing.
100%.
Especially if you see people around you who are still growing and you're kind of leveling out. So with the same thing about Nipsey Hussle, when you look back at those videos and you see, right, I've actually come a long way. It can just give you that extra little boost to push on and carry on.
Yeah.
Jobs, I think that's great. Like seeing people in adverts, I'm like, yo, that's my friend. That's my friend.
Yeah.
Like it's a nice feeling from the outside. And if they're getting paid right, I'm happy for them. They're getting exposure. Like I'm sure you've been tagged by non-skaters in viral videos of skaters, and I know that person. Right? But before I again, because I haven't been keeping up with it, and I'm not someone who goes after castings, so I don't know what the financials are.
Yeah.
But before the pandemic, before corporate sort of started using skating a lot, they were really trying to exploit skaters.
Yeah.
The whole exposure, or we'll pay for your expenses, but they're not going to pay you properly. Like, I don't appreciate that. I've always been against that. And I feel that's an educational thing. Like older skaters, more experienced skaters who've been about they need to make sure that the new skaters don't get exploited. And like I had to tell, we got asked to do a scene in a film a few years ago, and I gave them a higher number than what I would have usually because of, I think it was actually Aishwarya who was telling me like, right, you need to charge more. So I went back to them with a figure and they questioned it. And I was like, listen, these skates, this boot cost me £180. These wheels, £35. These bearings, £35. All my hours of practice to get to the level that you want and need for your film, priceless. You know, like, so asking them for this amount was nothing. Like, and that convinced them to agree to it in the end. But if skaters just need to get paid right and not get exploited. I hate that. Like, music videos are the worst. Music videos the worst. Yeah, great exposure. Yeah, be in my music video. Like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a good stance, man. I mean, I've heard so many like opposing arguments, like it's really good or it's bad, and I just think that there's so much skating out there now, and again, like all kind of linked with social media and the accessibility. There's so many like teachers out there who are kind of, I mean, that's kind of where I draw the line, like seeing those people who just like picked up skating and are doing lessons and stuff. But if you want to pay for someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, do your thing, man.
Yeah, I forgot about that one,
Bro. That's a heavy one. Yeah, that's a
that
heavy one.
it is.
Yeah,
It can be dangerous, bro. You can teach
100%,
someone the wrong way and get them injured,
100%,
them hurt.
100%. Yeah.
Not everyone's a teacher, man.
Nah, man.
Not everyone's a teacher.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard, bro. It really is. Like,
Like,
even just kind of showing someone. Sorry, go on.
you could be like a great skater, but it doesn't mean that you can teach.
Yeah.
People fall for that. People see the way you skate and like, I want to skate like that, so they'll go to that person. It's not always the way.
Yeah.
But I don't really know how to deal with that one.
Yeah. I think it's the kind of give them enough rope kind of analogy, bro. I think that will kind of work itself out. Yeah. Because that's like if somebody's like, you know, leaves you a bad review or posts this on you think you're pretty done. It does. And people know. People do know. People do know. Yeah, bro, I think that's a great answer, man. It is, you know, again, like just talking about how the scene has like kind of blown up in the last couple of months. You know, in a like kind of extremely unprecedented fashion. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen it like this, how it's kind of literally exploded. Yeah,
bro. That COVID has done more for skating than I've done in 9 years.
Bro. Honestly, man. Honestly, like it really has like I think exploded is the right word. Like it's just, yeah, it really has, and I think like we've got a lot of. I don't want to sound like an elitist, right? I don't want to sound like, oh, I've been skating for so. You know what I mean? I don't want to sound like that. But we've got a lot of fakers and we've got a lot of real skaters. And I've been watching the game change. And people
you're always going to have that. There's always going to be bad people.
Yeah.
And nothing you can do about that, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you there. I'm not into kind of calling out people and call out culture and stuff, but I think it's just what you said. Like, give them enough rope to hang themselves. And a lot of people, you know, we know how the patterns go. Come winter time, it's only us that's going to be skating, bro.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a bit up and down with that as well, calling people out.
Nah,
because
I'm not really into that.
I try not to lower myself to people's standards, but there's been times I just want to rant. I just want to go on a mad rant. Like,
feel you, bro.
My days.
Yeah, I feel you. I do feel you. I do. Literally, so last question. I think we got like a few minutes before this thing cuts out. So, I kind of saved the hardest question for last, but try and answer it as concisely as you can. As the NC, has the vision that you had in the beginning started to, if not it's already here, has it started to kind of actualize itself?
Absolutely. Uh, I've said to a number of the team and beyond, the NC's achieved what we initially set out to do. But is there still more work to do? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But we've done exactly what we wanted to do. We've established the party. We've established connections internationally, and we've expanded the, what's the word? We've expanded just the skate styles. It's not just one style now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm proud of what we've done. I'm definitely proud of it, but I always feel like we could have done more.
Yeah, I know, man, and I know what you mean. I think we've had enough of these conversations for me to kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I appreciate that sentiment, man. I just think it means that you will never really leave. You know what I mean? Like, even if
No,
you kind of slow down.
yeah.
Yeah,
So again, I have a lot of conversations with Daniel. Me
yeah,
and Daniel are always talking about stuff, and we had a very candid conversation about COVID, about the influx of skaters, and we as a group haven't been active. And I said to him, "Did we miss an opportunity? Should we have been that pillar, been that in that position that we kind of self-elected ourselves to be?" And he's like, "Bro, we deserve the rest. We earned the rest. Like, it is what it is. Like, COVID's only temporary. We'll be back out there and we'll carry on doing what we do." I was like, "Yeah, fair enough.
I agree,
Fair
man.
enough."
I agree. I agree. Yeah, bro. That's pretty much it. That's all the questions that I wanted to ask you. Final thoughts, shout outs, and a nomination for someone I should have next, please and thank you.
Uh, uh, Nomination. Who should you nominate? Oh man, I don't know why I've got brain fart right now.
I'm definitely gonna chat to Daniel. I'm gonna get him in here. Definitely gonna have a chat with him.
Yeah. Have you spoke to Loretta?
Yeah, we've got a meeting and we've got scheduled. So Loretta's in.
Okay. Have you spoke to Bance?
No, that's my next one. I'm gonna go after him.
Got him.
Yeah.
Baz, the ramps.
Yeah. Actually, it's a good shout.
Yeah.
Baz, I'm gonna get
Right,
Baz.
that whole section of skating is something I know absolutely nothing about, but I'd actually like to.
You and I
So
both.
yeah, I'd enjoy that conversation.
100%. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get him on. That's a good shout actually, Baz. Yeah, 100%. And final thoughts and any shout outs you need to do, bro, or plugs, any promos.
Shout out to Skate Things for holding it down and building.
Don't look at my
Shout
board,
out
bro.
to Watch My Wheels for holding it down and
100%.
building.
100%.
Shout out to Wavy on 8 for holding it down and building.
Big facts.
And all the new skaters, man, welcome to the family. I hope you enjoy the journey.
Skate with Sis,
And
hosting female only events.
bro, I missed that. Loretta's been screaming at me,
Bro.
yeah, to do that for a long time. And she's finally had a chance to go to it.
Yeah.
A female only thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard that was really good. But yeah, shout out to them girls. They're lovely.
Go on their page and watch the videos, bro. It's like, it's this beautiful combination of like brand new kind of Bambi skaters and like the like kind of us kind of skaters like skating around and just kind of having that very like, you know, no testosterone around them, like beautiful, like pushing together. It was so cool, man.
You weren't there, were you?
The videos. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Bro, I was just gonna go in like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Oh, it was so
Let
good,
me,
man.
let
It
me
was
ask you
special.
something, Amir.
Go on, bro.
Do you think it's disrespectful to call them COVID skaters? Now, be real, man.
No,
Be
no.
real.
No, no. I
I
think,
don't.
yeah, I think that's the era that they were born in, and
Yeah,
that's all right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mean any disrespect when I say it.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, I don't know, bro. It's kind of like, I don't know, what's a word that we say on regular thing that's like sounds really offensive but isn't really. I don't know, like it's that's kind of how it is though. Like I feel like it kind of got this connotation behind it, and there was a lot of like tit for tat like conversations going on social media, obviously with all COVID skaters who've kind of taken over that space and like become super like, you know, like super, I don't know, like controlling over the space and over the scene and stuff. There was a lot of that stuff, and then
Mm,
it kind of turned into that. And obviously, we were all just like back here, like, what the fuck are you lot arguing about?
mm.
And I feel like they kind of got that marginalized thing. It was like, oh, we're COVID skaters, blah blah, like, but we're gonna hold it and own it. It's like it's not a slur.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Like,
was weird,
I
man.
know. I know some people may have been like, "Oh, you've only been skating 2 minutes." They kind of did use it in that way,
Yeah,
but that's like the minority, man.
yeah,
I don't see any like disrespect. It is what it is, man.
yeah. I think so as well. I think it is what it is, and I think if you're sensitive about it, then just don't listen to people in it, because that's what we're gonna call you,
I don't like being called old school though.
bro. Well, you see, this
I
is
ain't
my
old school.
thing. Like when I mention you, yeah, I don't. Well, I don't call you old school, but I call you my OG. Not in a way that makes you old, in a way that's
Yeah.
like, without you, there wouldn't be what I do.
Okay.
Right, in that
Yeah.
sense. And like Daniel was on, he like got onto me the other day. I was like, yeah, you're my OG. And he's like, bruv, I'm like 29, bruv. And I was like, bruv, I'm not saying you're old. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying you're old. I'm saying you lot brought me in, you lot gave me my first, you know what I mean? My first like, go on, bro, do your thing kind of thing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I'm not calling you the old. Yeah, I just want to put it out there.
I'm a middle child. I'm a middle child.
That's the justification for not wanting to be
But
called
yeah,
old.
because like to be honest, like there's a wave of skaters. There's a wave that had been skating for about a year before the pandemic.
Yeah,
So to them, we're the older generation,
yeah.
but they look at the COVID skaters as the new generation. So they think that they're the middle child, and they look at us as the old school. And I
No,
don't. No, that's
no,
not what it is.
no, it's not.
There's just different waves.
It's
There's
not.
different waves.
Yeah,
I'm not old school. I'm definitely not new school anymore.
right. Yeah.
I'm middle school.
But I think it's more time, right? It's like time. Like you've put
Mm,
time in and you've
mm.
done things in the community. Whereas like I would call, in the most unoffensive way, the relics in Hyde Park, I would call them old school.
The most unoffensive way,
Yeah.
relics.
Yeah. 100%. 100%, bro. 100%.
Relics.
I call them relics, bro. Then I won't be listening to this anyway because they don't have to watch YouTube. No, that's rude.
Oh my
No, that's rude.
days.
That's rude.
Bro, there's some old school skaters,
Yes.
and specifically in Hyde Park,
Yeah.
absolute legends. Do you
100%.
know what I love about them? Do you know what I love about them, Amir? You could see a silhouette of them
Yeah. And you know.
and see how they skate and identify them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're all unique,
Yeah.
and I think that is something that is missing from the later generations, including my own.
Yeah.
Very few skaters are so unique. You could just tell that that's them without looking at their skates or their clothes. Just the way the person is skating, you'll be like, "Right, that's so and so. That's this person. That's
Yeah.
that person."
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree. I was being silly. I have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of respect to them. Hyde Park was like one of the first places I went to go and skate with like a kind of community, and like I've been around them for a long time, and I do have a lot of respect for like our old school skaters.
I know you do. I know you do.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a secret?
Go on, bro. It's not much of a
I don't
secret. It's
like
on YouTube.
skating. I don't like skating in Hyde Park. You know,
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm with you there. I don't like Hyde
For the
Park.
longest time. Like, it's mad because, again, when you've got good people there and when they're playing good music,
Mm-hmm.
either end, either end of it can be a nice vibe,
Yeah.
such a nice picnic. But actually skating, like the floor's sloped, you've got
Yep.
the gravel, you got the Barclays bike people coming through.
Yeah.
Um, and again, maybe it's because I am a rink skater. I really
Mm-hmm.
just call myself a rink skater.
Yeah.
Um, I've never had such an amazing skate. I've had amazing days in Hyde Park. I've never had an amazing skate in Hyde Park.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But I respect it because it is one of the standout hubs that has.
Withstood the test of time, man.
That's the exact phrase I was trying to grab.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It really
yeah,
has.
man.
It's been like that forever.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
But again, it's nice to see more places popping up. Victoria Park, Greenwich, Colindale,
Mm.
Clapham. Like, it's really nice that there's more spaces, more spaces, more spaces.
Yeah. Yeah. We just gotta figure out this. Got to figure out the solution, man. How to hold on to them. Like, I don't know how many times just in history, like skaters have been moved on from spaces that they shouldn't be, and like we just got to figure out how to do it. But I guess it was just kind of what you were saying about the whole like looking after the space, respecting the space,
Hmm.
as a community, and not just like everyone dashing down their rubbish and then someone's got to clean it up. Like having
Yeah,
that
everyone
overall
needs to do that.
respect. Yeah,
Bro, I don't know if you want this in here, but you need to sort the alliance out, bro.
yeah, yeah,
We've got work to do.
yeah, man. Yeah,
Organize the events. They need to be accountable
hmm
for the spaces. Um, and not to say that any of them aren't doing enough,
hmm
but just to make sure, man,
yeah,
just to make sure, keep on top of it,
yeah,
spread it out, because like we were saying about the rinks being the hub, being the home, being a place to push out etiquette and
hmm
stuff.
hmm
These link ups, it's the same thing.
yeah. I appreciate you letting me know that every time we talk. I appreciate you pulling me up on that. I appreciate it, bro.
Mhm.
I think I'm kind of in that same space where you are. I'm like it's the social thing and all that stuff, but I find that it's easier for me to communicate when I see everybody. So like when I do see like Bance, we sit down and we talk. We talk about things. Even when I saw him on Sunday, or we were having we were talking, and I think that's the way to do it. Like that's the way
Mm.
to keep us all together. That's the way to keep it going. The whole like kind of having a group and like kind of communicating via text message and stuff is hard.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm on it, bro. I'm on it. I promise. I promise. I'm on it.
It just come to me. It just come to me. You asked me earlier about what can we learn from America.
Hmm.
So as I'm sure you know, there's in every state there's different skate organizers, and throughout the year there's different skate parties in different parts of America.
Yes.
Um, the big party coordinators, um, every year or two they all meet up. So America's a big place. These parties are all spread out, but they will communicate and coordinate a day, a party that they will all attend, and they will all have a sit down around a table and meet and discuss the community,
Hmm.
um, ideas and ways to support each other's events and improve things for the betterment of everyone. Um, that is something I learned many years ago from them. That is what I wanted to put into the NC, and that is something that I want us to put into the Alliance.
Hmm.
Like, we're dotted around London. It's a much smaller place, um, but it still needs that communication and cooperation for us all to work together, not against each other, support each other, and build the community in the right way.
Hmm.
that is something I learned from America that we need to make sure that we do properly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Bro, I'm going to let that be the last words. I really
Cool.
appreciate you taking like
No,
an
I
hour and a
appreciate the
half.
shout, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
bro.
the shout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like an hour and a half to like have a conversation with me. I think this is like really productive, and it's always nice hearing you speak so passionate about the community. And again, just like I said, it's one of the things that made me want to invest my time into building communities and being deeply entrenched into the skating scene in London. And yeah, bro, I owe a
Keep
big
it up, man. Keep
100%,
it up, man.
100%, bro, 100%. I got one thing to talk to you about once we end this. I'm gonna cut the recording now. Bro,
Cool.
love you a lot, man. I just have to say it, bro.
Me
Got
too, man. I
mad
really
love for you,
appreciate
bro.
you, bro.
Mad love for you, bro.
Yeah.
All
Trying to be like you, big man.
right. All right, bro. Let me cut
Right.
this.
Cool, cool, cool.